Dave Vessels probably knows him as well. He knows everyone, Dave Vessels. He's a champ in the world of Australian sport. He coaches the Melbourne Rebels, and he's been good enough to join us again. We haven't spoken to him for ages. Dave, good morning.
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good on you, buddy. Nice to have you with us. Now, you've been through a bit since the last time we spoke to you. You had a little sojourn up north and a little bit of hub activity. Now you're back on track in Melbourne. How's the world? Is it normal again?
Mate, it's pretty normal. We played pretty badly for Saturday night, so I haven't had a couple of days sleep. Other than that, it's really nice to be back home, obviously, and be with our families and that sort of thing.
I wanted to ask you about that performance because earlier in the season you played really well against the Reds up there. I think it might have been the first game, in fact. And you've had a couple of weeks off since the win against the Tars. Was that just a bit of lethargy coming at play, or was it something different?
Yeah, look, I think we probably felt in all of the games previously we lost in the first game on the last kick of the game to the Reds, and then unfortunately exactly the same thing to the Brumbies the week later. But we felt week to week we were really getting better. And then we had a couple of good wins before our bye, and our game was really improving. And then to have the not really so much the result on Saturday night, but more just the performance that we put on was a pretty hard thing to take, to be honest. And maybe it's a good lesson for us. It's kind of mid-season, and I think as long as we wear a bit of the pain from it and put in the work, which the boys have done over the last couple of days, and it could end up being a really healthy thing. But obviously it doesn't feel like that at the time.
Well, you've got the Western Force coming up on Friday, and they've had a bit of a rough start to the season. You took them down just a couple of rounds ago. What do you need to do then to make sure that you do bounce back from that heavy loss a couple of days ago?
Yeah, really important game for us. I mean, essentially, I think if we win on Friday night, then we're very close to being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Force are the team that really could catch us if we give them that breathing space. So this is it's almost essentially like a bit of a quarter-final for us. All of that aside, I think, as I said, we're really hurting from just the lack of intensity that we played with on Saturday night for whatever reason. I don't know who was coaching the guys on Saturday night. It didn't feel like me, that I could say. So, I think more than anything, we just got to get back to the way that we want to play, and that makes that I think has won us a lot of respect probably in the previous rounds, just with our intensity and the discipline with which we've attacked the game. But we didn't show any of that on Saturday, so we've got to get back to that quick.
Well, and then you'll have the finals hopefully coming up, top three here. But Jacinda Ardern across the Tasman made an important announcement yesterday that the New Zealand travel bubble will open, which is great news because you do have that Trans-Tasman comp where you cross over and play against the New Zealand sides. How important is it to have that opportunity to really go up against, the best teams in the world over in New Zealand?
Yeah, massively important. And to be honest, I actually feel quite excited about it, just because I think, over last year we had a good win against the Highlanders in Dunedin, and then the Brumbies had a good away win, I think, against the Waikato Chiefs. So there were a couple of good Australian performances against the Kiwi teams before COVID struck, and I think that potentially the gap is smaller than people think. I think Australian teams have really improved a lot over the last, probably 12 months. And we've had a lot of exciting young players come through. So I think it's going to be really exciting. But, the other thing is that the fantastic thing about rugby, and probably our differentiator in the Australian market, is that rugby is a really global game, and I think one of the things we have to do is leverage that for our fans and make sure that we're exposing them to other competitions, other players, other markets, and obviously there's no better place to do that than in rugby-mad New Zealand.
Well, it's a good way to get there. You've got to win this week. And the Force at Amy Park have been a very big challenge in recent years. It's a fascinating rivalry you two teams have when you play each other, either home or away. So we're looking forward to seeing how it goes, Dave. Listening to you today, that you're still smarting a bit from Saturday night's performance. So I've got a feeling there might be some real rev-up activity coming the players' way this Friday night. Good luck.
No, thanks for having me, guys.